All right, let's take a look. How is this one different? There is a number besides 1 for our A. So what does that mean? That means our factoring is a little bit trickier, and it also means there is going to be decimals. But look, we have our handy dandy calculator here, and we are not panicking. We are just going to take care of it. It's not a big deal. Okay, let's go ahead and factor first. I need this times this to equal this, so that's going to be 5x and x. And I need this times this to equal this, so that's going to be 7 and 1. I notice everything's positive, so I'm going to go ahead and throw some positives in there. And then let's check, because I need this times this plus this times this to equal 36. So let's see. 5x times 1, that's 5x, plus 7x. Ooh, that's not 36. Okay, let's try switching the 7 and the 1. 5x times 7, that's 35x plus 1x, perfect. That's 36x, and I am set. My factoring is done. Now look, this is number times number equals 0. So either 5x plus 1 equals 0, or x plus 7 equals 0. Okay, so then let's go ahead and solve. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. This is -1. I'm going to divide by 5. This is where we are just not stressed. We are just going to use a calculator. Notice this is not the number 5. This is not 5 divided by 1. That would be 5. Okay, this is 1 divided by 5. Well, first of all, it's a negative divided by positive, so it's negative. And 1 divided by 5, this is where you're welcome to use your calculator. And it's -0.2. So my first intercept is -0.20. And I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. That's -7. So that's -7, 0, right? My y value is 0. Why is my y value 0? Because I made it 0. Just a side note, right? This is the left one. I'm just looking if I had a number line, if I had an x-axis, this number would definitely be to the left, right? This number is actually pretty close to 0, and this would be the right one. All right. Okay, the y-intercept, I'm going to plug in 0 for x. So that looks like this. And we can maybe predict what's going to happen here, right? This term's going to be 0, this term's going to be 0, and I'm going to be left with just that 7, so my y-intercept is x is 0, y is 7. All right, and now to my axis of symmetry. Okay, it is still -b over 2a. So let's just be careful here, make sure we get it. My b value, look, I'm going to write it right here. My b value is 36, and this time my a value is not 1, it is 5. So negative b is -36 over 2a, 2 times 5. So this becomes -36 divided by 10. Again, I'm gonna show you dividing by 10 is pretty easy. We just move the decimal place over, right? So this is -3.6. You can also feel free to use a calculator. But the axis of symmetry is at -3.6. Okay, I'm going to pause for a second and just kind of graph what I have, because I have a pretty decent idea of what my graph's going to look like now, and then I'm going to find the vertex. So -0.20. 0.2 is a really small number. So -0.2 is really close to 0. It's right next to the 0, 0, the origin. Okay, -7, 0 right here. And 0, 7, the y-intercept, so I'm already kind of picturing, right, it's going to look like this. My axis of symmetry is right down the middle of my x-intercepts right here at -3.6. And so I'm pretty much picturing, right, my parabola is going to look like this. So my vertex is going to be somewhere, down here, so I can draw my parabola. Okay, so now my vertex. I know that the x value of my vertex is -3.6. Okay, again, unconcerned that it's a decimal. I'm just going to be neat and not screw it up and use the calculator. So this is 5x squared plus 36x. Again, everywhere I see x, I'm plugging in -3.6, because I know that my vertex, the x value of my vertex, right, will be this -3.6, because my x value is going to be right here. It's going to be on the axis of symmetry, and my y value I'm still trying to figure out. All right, look, I'm going to do this math one step at a time, okay? I just use order of operations. So exponents first, -3.6 squared. That's -3.6 times -3.6. So remember, that's going to be positive, right? So I'm just putting in my calculator, 3.6 times 3.6. Okay, and it doesn't matter that it's negative because I'm squaring it. So negative times a negative, I get 12.96. Okay. Now, technically I just did exponents on this line, so I would like, oh, I could save multiplication for the next line. I'm just like too lazy to do that. Like I'm too lazy to rewrite all of this. I know that's silly, but I'm just gonna go ahead and, this is 129.6. Look, I put in my calculator 36 times negative 3.6, and then I'm gonna write plus 7, okay? And now in my calculator, 5 times 12.96. Okay, so look, I put 5 times 12.96. Oh, there's a little glue on here, sorry. Okay, now look, I got an answer. Now, could I write the answer here and then bring this down? I could, but I'm not going to, because again, too lazy. So I have this number, right? 5 times 12.96. I'm going to do minus 129.6. Okay, and press equals, and then plus 7 and press equals, and I get negative 57.8. Okay, and that's a big old number. And I look and I say, does that make sense to me? And the thing is it actually does, okay? And I know it's a little bit hard to see why we have no numbers, but the bigger this number is, the skinnier my parabola is. So this parabola is actually really tall and skinny, and so the vertex is all the way down here, right? Look, like at negative 57.8, and that's totally fine, and we're just gonna sketch it just like this, okay? But that's totally fine. Like I said, the bigger this number is, so this is a 5, this is gonna be a really skinny, tall parabola. Like this one's not gonna be quite as tall and skinny. This one's gonna be pretty tall and skinny with the 4 out front, all right? It's your turn to try it out.